The 5.45 x 39 mm cartridge is a rimless bottlenecked rifle cartridge. It was introduced into service in 1974 by the Soviet Union for use with the new AK-74 assault rifle. It gradually supplemented, then largely replaced the 7.62 x 39 mm round in service. History. The 5.45 x 39 mm cartridge was developed in the early 1970s by a group of Soviet designers and engineers under the direction of M. Sabelnikov. Further group members were L.I. Bulovsky, B.B. Seaman, M.E. Fedorov, P. F. Sazonov, V. Volkov, V. A. Niklev, E. Zimin and P. S. Korolev. The 5.45 x 39 mm is an example of an international tendency towards relatively small-sized, lightweight, high-velocity military service cartridges. Cartridges like the 5.45 x 39 mm, 5.56 x 45 mm NATO and Chinese 5.8 x 42 mm allow a soldier to carry more ammunition for the same weight compared to the larger and heavier predecessor. Cartridges have favorable maximum point-blank range or battle zero characteristics and produce relatively low bolt thrust and free recoil impulse, favoring lightweight arms design and automatic fire accuracy. The Soviet original military issue 7.6 cartridge variant introduced in 1974 are loaded with full metal jacket bullets that have a somewhat complex construction. The 3.43 grams boat tail projectile's jacket is clad in gilding metal. The unhardened 1.43 grams steel rod penetrator core is covered by a thin lead inlay which does not fill the entire point end, leaving a hollow cavity inside the nose. The bullet is cut to length during the manufacturing process to give the correct weight. The 7.6 uses a boat tail designed to reduce drag, and there is a small lead plug crimped in place in the base of the bullet. The lead plug, in combination with the airspace at the point of the bullet, has the effect of moving the bullet's center of gravity to the rear. The hollow airspace also makes the bullet's point prone to deformation when the bullet strikes anything solid, inducing yaw. The brown lacquered steel case is burden primed. Its 39.37 mm length makes it slightly longer than the 7.62 x 39 mm case, which measures exactly 38.60 mm. The primer has a copper cup and is sealed with a heavy red lacquer. The propellant charge is a ball powder with similar burning characteristics to the WC-844 powder used in 5.56 x 45 mm NATO ammunition. The 7.6 cartridge weight is 10.75 grams. Tests indicate the free recoil energy delivered by the 5.45 x 39 mm AK-74 assault rifle is 3.39 J, compared to 6.44 J delivered by the 5.56 x 45 mm NATO in the M16 assault rifle and 7.19 J delivered by the 7.62 x 39 mm in the AKM assault rifle. Military 5.45 x 39 mm ammunition was produced in the former Soviet Union, GDR and Yugoslavia, and is produced in Bulgaria, Poland and Romania. In the former Soviet Union, this ammunition is produced in Russia, Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan and Ukraine. Cartridge dimensions. The 5.45 x 39 mm has 1.75 milliliters, 27 grains H2O cartridge case capacity. 5.45 x 39 mm maximum C.I.P. cartridge dimensions. Americans would define the shoulder angle at alpha to approximately equals 20.3 degrees. The common rifling twist rate for this cartridge is 255 mm. 4 grooves. O lands equals 5.40 mm. O grooves equals 5.60 mm. Land width equals 2.60 mm, and the primer type is either bird or a small rifle. According to the official C.I.P. rulings, the 5.45 x 39 mm can handle up to 380.00 megapascals P max piezo pressure. In C.I.P. regulated countries, every rifle cartridge combo has to be proofed at 125% of this maximum C.I.P. pressure to certify for sale to consumers. This means that 5.45 x 39 mm chambered arms in C.I.P. regulated countries are currently proof tested at 475.00 megapascals P piezo pressure. Wounding effects. Early ballistics tests demonstrated a pronounced tumbling effect with high-speed cameras. Some Western authorities believe this bullet was designed to tumble in flesh to increase wounding potential. At the time, it was believed that yawing and cavitation of projectiles were primarily responsible for tissue damage. Martin Fackler conducted a study with an AK-74 assault rifle using live pigs and ballistic gelatin. The result of our preset test indicate that the AK-74 bullet acts in the manner expected of a full metal-cased military ammunition. It does not deform a fragment when striking soft tissues. Most organs and tissue were too flexible to be severely damaged by the temporary cavity effect caused by yaw and cavitation of a projectile. With the 5.45 mm bullet, tumbling produced a temporary cavity twice, at depths of 100 mm and 350 mm. This is similar to modern 7.62 x 39 mm ammunition and to 5.56 mm ammunition. Military 5.45 x 39 mm rounds offer better penetration over military 5.56 x 45 mm NATO rounds. However, unlike its 5.56 mm counterpart, the 5.45 mm round does not deform a fragment when striking soft tissues. Quote, nevertheless, during the Afghan War the Mujahideen called the 5.45 x 39 mm round the poison bullet due to the severe wounds it produced to extremities and the resulting need to amputate. 5.45 x 39 mm cartridge variants. Enhanced penetration cartridges. As body armor saw increasing use in militaries, the original 7.6 standard service cartridge bullet construction was changed several times to improve penetration. This resulted in the 7N6M, 7N10, 7N22 and 7N24 variants. The 7N6M cartridge was introduced in 1987. In contrast to the original 7N6 unhardened steel rod penetrator, the 7N6M rod penetrator is made of steel 65 and hardened to 60 HRC. The 7N6M 3.43 grams boat tail bullet can penetrate a 6 mm thick SINT3 steel plate at 300 meters and 6ZH85T body armor at 80 meters. 7N6 bullets have a red identification ring above the cartridge neck. The U.S. Army's Ballistic Research Laboratory measured a ballistic coefficient of 0.168 and form factor of 0.929 for the 7N6 projectile. which indicates good aerodynamic efficiency and external ballistic performance for the bullet diameter. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms and Explosives classified the 7.6 cartridge as armor-piercing handgun ammunition on the 7th of April 2014, and, as such, it is illegal to import from Russia to the United States. The 7.10 improved penetration cartridge was introduced in 1992. The 7.10 boat-tail bullet weighs 3.60 grams and the weight of the length and sleeker steel penetrator made of steel 70 was increased to 1.80 grams and the lead plug in front of it was discarded. The hollow cavity at the front of these projectiles was reduced significantly compared to previous 7.6 projectiles. In 1994 the 7.10 design was improved by filling the remaining hollow cavity in the projectile's front with lead and reducing the weight of the penetrator to 1.72 grams, resulting in a bullet weighing 3.62 grams. Upon impacting a hard target, soft lead is pressed sideways by the steel penetrator, tearing the jacket. It has a ballistic coefficient of approximately 0.351 and of approximately 0.176. The 7.10 cartridge replaced the previous variants as standard Russian service round and can penetrate a 16 mm thick SINT-3 steel plate at 100 meters and 6 ZH-85T body armor at 200 meters. 7.10 bullets have a violet-purple identification ring above the cartridge neck. The 7.10 and 7.6 cartridges have practically identical external ballistic characteristics, meaning they can share identical sighting lines and optics on firearms. The 7.22 armor-piercing bullet, introduced in 1998, has a 1.75 grams sharp-pointed steel penetrator made of steel U12A and retains the soft lead plug in the nose for jacket discarding. 7.22 boat-tail bullets weigh 3.69 grams and can be identified by the red identification ring above the cartridge neck and a black tip. The 7.24 super armor-piercing cartridge, introduced in 1999, has a stub cone nose penetrator made of tungsten carbide. The 7.24 round is loaded with a 4.15 grams projectile containing a 2.1 grams penetrator which is fired with a muzzle velocity of 840 meters per second yielding 1464 J. Muzzle energy. 7.24 bullets have a black identification ring above the cartridge neck. Tracer cartridges. Besides that, the tracer cartridges 73 and 73M were developed. These bullets can be identified by the green marked tips. The 3.23 grams tracer projectile has a shorter ogival profile and for 73 ammunition burns out to 800 meters and for 73M ammunition ignites at 50 meters, burning out to 850 meters. Training and instruction cartridges. For training purposes, the blank cartridges 7H3, 7H3M and 7KH3 were developed. These rounds have a hollow white plastic imitation projectile. When these training rounds are used, the barrel of the gun is fitted at the muzzle with a blank fire adapter to produce a gas pressure build-up for cycling the gun, as well as a break-up aid for the plastic projectiles. For instruction purposes, the 7H4 training a dummy cartridge was developed. Special purpose cartridges. For special purposes, the 7U1 subsonic cartridge with a black and green painted meplat and cap cartridge for underwater were developed. The 7U1 subsonic cartridge weight is 11 grams and is loaded with a 5.2 grams projectile which is fired with a muzzle velocity of 303 meters per second yielding 239 J. Muzzle energy. Accuracy of fire at 100 meters is 35 millimeters. Basic specifications are 50 at 300 meters means the closest 50% of the shot group will all be within a circle of the mentioned diameter at 300 meters. The twist rate used in the AK-74M assault rifle that has been adopted as the new service rifle of the Russian Federation in 1991 is 200 millimeters. Civil use. The 5.45 x 39 mm was developed by the Soviet Union for military use, and it was not intended to create civilian weapons in this chambering. When 5.45 x 39 mm ammunition finally became available for sale to civilians, several arms manufacturers started to offer 5.45 x 39 mm chambered AK-74 platform arms for civilian use. Sometimes these AK-74 platform arms combine parts originating from Russia or other Eastern European countries and parts produced elsewhere. Only a few civilian 5.45 x 39 mm weapons were developed and commercially offered. Non-AK-74 platform rifles and commercial offerings include the East German SSG-82 bolt-action rifle and the Russian CRS-98 VEPR-5, 45 inches semi-automatic carbine and Saiga semi-automatic rifle. In May 2008, the Smith & Wesson M&AMP P15R was introduced. This was a standard R15 platform rifle chambered for the 5.45 x 39 mm cartridge and was Smith & Wesson's first R variant rifle in a chambering other than 5.56 x 45 mm NATO and is no longer in current production. The civilian version of the Tavort R21 rifle produced for the U.S. market includes an optional 5.45 x 39 mm conversion kit, commercial 5.45 x 39 mm ammunition. The U.S. ammunition manufacturer Hornady produces commercial polymer-coated steel case 5.45 x 39 mm ammunition loaded with 3.89 grams polymer-tip VMAX bullets with a stated ballistic coefficient of 0.285. Wolf Performance Ammunition offers several burden-primed commercial 5.45 x 39 mm loads. The Russian ammunition manufacturer Bernaril Cartridge Plant also offers several burden-primed commercial sporting and hunting 5.45 x 39 mm cartridges. Bernaril states that the 5.45 x 39 mm cartridges produce a maximal pressure of 294 megapascals and have a bullet dispersion of 125 mm at a range of 100 meters, meaning every shot of a shot group will be within a circle of the mentioned diameter at 100 meters. The American Firearms Corporation Century International Arms offers Ukrainian-made 5.45 x 39 mm cartridges with steel casings and bimetal jacketed bullets under the Red Army Standard Ammunition brand. The Russian manufacturer Tula Arms Plant states that its Tula ammunition cartridges comply with the 5.45 x 39 mm CIP rulings, producing a maximal pressure of 302.7 megapascals and keeps the qualities under various climatic and weather conditions independent of the season, and at a temperature range from -50 to 50 degrees Celsius. Tula's 3.89 grams full metal jacket bullet has a stated ballistic coefficient of 0.329 and its 3.89 grams hollow point bullet has a stated ballistic coefficient of 0.301. Gallery.